Hey guys, welcome to another video from Historic Militaria. Today we're going to be looking at the Red 9 Mauser Broomhandle, and this one is a little bit unique in some of its history and where it went. As you can see, just obviously, this is a standard German World War I manufactured Red 9, made probably about 1917, with your Red 9 grip to denote it as being a 9mm Luger. This was part of a approximately 150,000 gun contract that Mauser made between 1916 and about 1917 in their own serial number range from 1 to 150,000. However, not all 150,000 were made. There's some debate about how high the serial numbers go on them. In my experience, the highest I've been aware of is about 137, 138,000. And most people agree that not all 150,000 were ever manufactured. Also, it seems like a lot of the later guns did not go to the German military. They showed up sort of all around Europe. You'd see a lot come out of Scandinavia for whatever reason. A lot went to Finland, Sweden, and they just kind of stayed there, and they're actually in collections there. They're still coming out of there. I've seen a number for sale in the last couple of years that came out of Finland, and they're Red 9s, and they're in pretty nice condition, usually with all matched accessories and all that kind of good stuff. And this one is actually interesting because it too came out of Finland, but this one actually saw Finnish service, and it's marked with the boxed SA, which is of course a Finnish military stamp. So this gun was actually used by the Finnish military. You'll see this on, of course, Finnish guns. You also see it on a lot of Mauser Gants, which were captured from the Soviets during the Winter War and the Continuation War, and also just Mauser Gants that were purchased at various times by Finland, as well as all kinds of other Finnish gear and equipment and firearms. Other than that, this is a very standard Red 9. It's in pretty nice condition. Doesn't look like it saw a lot of service. It does not have a German acceptance mark that some of them do have. And usually the earlier guns have that German acceptance mark right there. This one, of course, is blank. It does have the typical wartime finish, which is somewhat rough and a little bit thin. Not, the best, certainly not commercial grade, but this one is better. It seems like as Mauser was getting toward the end of the Red 9 contract, they actually were putting out some fairly decent looking guns. This one is typical though in that the grips are pretty oversized and not very nice wood. You really don't have a lot of finish or anything like that on these. They just kind of gave you grips. Whereas on a commercial grade gun, you're going to have the wood very nicely lacquered and sanded and is going to fit the gun perfectly. These, as you can see, are a little bit oversized, and yet they are actually serial numbered to this gun, so they did come with it originally. This one has got your standard Crown U proof with your serial number right there. And this one's in the 103,000 serial number range. Other than that, really no special markings on it. You have your standard rear sight graduated out to 500 meters on the Red 9 contract, whereas again, remember your standard Mauser sight would have been graduated to 1,000 meters. Your numbers, of course, are going to be repeated again on the back as well, with your NS hammer and all that good stuff, and slotted for a shoulder stock. So just an interesting gun. You do see some of these that are going to be with SA stamps. I have seen both 763 as well as standard Red 9s with SA stamps on them. Another interesting thing that you'll see are Mausers, and I'm sure if we can get our hands on one, we'll do a video on it. They're Mausers from wartime commercial production, in the Red 9 serial number range, but in 7.63 Mauser, and they actually do not have the Red 9 grips. They are typical wartime guns, but they've got a low serial number, usually under serial number 30,000, and a lot of people have wondered what those were. Seems like a lot of them come out of Scandinavia, so we'll take a look at one of those and the belief that they're just standard 7.63 Mausers that were made during the Red 9 contract, and Finnish and other Scandinavian use of those. So once again, take a look at that SA there. Kind of easy to miss on some of these, and I've seen them on different parts of the gun. This one is obviously on the very back. Sometimes they'll put them under here or stamp them up here by the chamber, but be on the lookout. If you like Finnish stuff, it's definitely unique to find a broom handle that is Finnish marked, especially a Red 9. So if you've got one, I'd love to hear how you acquired it, what history you know about it, and just really anything. As always, share the knowledge. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe.